All right, we already talked about Barney being the wholesome version of Pennywise, and it got me thinking. There's another character from our childhood that also tells children to hide the secrecy from their parents. And this suspect is none other than Mrs. Frizzle. And listen, once you see it, you really can't unsee it. So let's look at the pattern, shall we? Pennywise feeds on fear. Barney feeds on joy. They both primarily interact with children, operate outside of adult awareness, manipulate reality, exist in a space that feels magical but slightly off. Now enter Mrs. Frizzle, a woman who owns a sentient reality bending bus, warps physics, shrinks children, sends them inside of volcanoes. And somehow, nobody ever seems to investigate her. Be so serious. The magic school bus doesn't just travel, it shapeshifts, it alters molecular structure, it bends time, and it defies physics. And Mrs. Frizzle always seemed to know what's about to happen. Not guesses, no. That's not a teacher. That's an interdimensional field researcher. What if instead of feeding on fear or happiness, she feeds on curiosity? If this species survives off of emotional energy, each one might specialize in something different. Notice how her field trip always pushes the kids to the edge of their panic, but then it flips into fascination. She harvests that exact moment when terror becomes curiosity. And that spike of, whoa, that's amazing, that's her fuel. Where are the parents? Where is the school board? How is this woman taking children into space before lunch and then into the human bloodstream afterwards? Because adults can't truly perceive what she is. Or they can and they made a deal. What if some of these adults allow these entities access to children in exchange for societal progress? That escalated quickly, I know, but stay with me now. What if the species isn't good or evil? What if they're custodians of human development? They guide children through intense emotional experiences, fear, joy, curiosity. They feed, yes, but they also cultivate. They shape generations. And when children grow up, they phase out. So tell me if I'm wrong. Because if you look at the Magic School bus now, and that bus looks slightly organic, you're welcome.